After 70 years of waiting, the greatest Dark Knight video game of all time is here, and it goes by the name Batman-Arkham-Asylum. While you could have picked up Bat's first appearance in Detective Comics for 2 bits or whatever, nowadays video games cost lots of money, so you've got to decide which version of the game you want to take home. Luckily, we're IGN, and we're here to help. No matter which system you have hooked up to your TV, you're getting a pretty solid package with Batman Arkham Asylum. The main thrust of the game is a story mode that puts Batman smack dab in the middle of his longest night ever. With the Joker in charge of the loony bin, Bat has to fight hordes of enemies, take people out from the shadows, and explore the dark and creepy island. Toss in 240 riddles for the Cape Crusader to solve, along with 16 challenge rooms, and there's a whole lot for boy wonders and Batgirls to dig on this disc. All that content I just described is the same on both systems. Sure, the D-pad's a little bit wonky on the Xbox, so switching gadgets can be troublesome, but you get over it. The bigger deal is that if you buy Batman Arkham Asylum on the PS3, you get 8 free Joker challenges. Now, these take place in the same environments as Batman's, but Mr. J won't have the gadgets and cape that make it a bit breezier for the Cape Crusader. This change actually turns the gameplay on its head and makes the challenges something that are unique and fun. If you had to choose one system to go with on this front and have an internet connection, the Joker maps make the PS3 the one you want.
Time for a little vacation, Arkham. I'm out of here.
Again, on both systems, Arkham Asylum looks great with its creepy lighting, detailed bat suits, and sexy ladies, but there are some differences here and there. For starters, and I'm talking about the very opening movie, you're going to notice more screen tearing on the PS3 than the 360. As Batman brings the Joker into Arkham, the breaks were pretty apparent to me. In the game, the visuals seem to be a bit more detailed on the 360 and packing a richer color. I leapt off a bunch of stuff in each version back to back, and Batman's cape seemed to just be a tad darker and richer on the 360. Of course, each game has its share of texture pop-in, and I'm not saying that the 360 is screen tearing free. Basically, any issue on one version of the game is an issue on the other, maybe just not to the same degree. If you go the PS3 route, you're going to need 1.2 gigabytes on your hard drive and 3 minutes to install it. It's by no means a giant amount of time, but the payoff might not be worth it. When I chose to continue my story on the PS3, it took 12.4 seconds to load. However, when I did it on 360, it took 19.4. Here's the simple truth, Bat fans. You can't go wrong with either version of Batman Arkham Asylum. The controls work well, I felt like the Dark Knight when I was playing, and there's a ton to do here. Yes, the graphics are a tad sharper on the 360, but it's not noticeable enough for me to sit here and tell you that's a deal breaker. If you have to choose between both versions, I'd go with the PS3 edition. These games are so close that the free downloadable Joker challenge maps push the PS3 into the winner's circle. The fact is that the free maps are a completely different experience from what you've been doing as the Dark Knight, and that only adds value to the game. In reality, you can't go wrong, so don't sweat your final decision. For more head-to-heads and more news on Batman, check out IGN Insider.